What better thing to do when a storm comes rolling in to watch the clouds, to create a reading journal, and to get lost in a book?
I wanted to share my reading journal. I printed off a few note cards like this. Librarian me wanted to do a couple of library card checkouts, and I'm gonna probably put the books that I borrow from the library or books I read. Not quite sure what I'm gonna put right there, but I did this with I did this part right here with the Happy Planner Wild Fields. This is my ultimate favorite Happy Planner one. I kind of wish I wouldn't have bought some of the other ones and just bought a couple more of those. But because I really like the way that the flowers and butterflies look. It's a really pretty planner set. And then I used my alphabet stamps for a lot of the words, and just some ink pad. And then I did a window to kind of look a little bit at this map. This map I purchased from Jassy Corinne's shop. I really liked her map of like Slow Burn Crater and the Spine Kraken and just all her cute little things. I printed off the page and then I stained it, and then I put, when in doubt, go to the library. My favorite quote from Harry Potter. Had to do a quote on this side just so it didn't look so empty. And then I did a Embrace What Today Will Bring quote from a Happy Planner and some washi tape. This is my ultimate favorite washi tape that I got. It's just script, and I'm almost out of it. And then I did a book bracket for 2024. I'm starting halfway through the year, but doesn't mean that I can't read this many books and figure out who's going to be the winner. I also did the alphabet challenge. So I'm going to do it off of titles, and I might, if I can't find titles, I might even mix in a little bit of authors, who knows. But I'm going to try and do the alphabet challenge. We'll see. I'm going to focus mainly on titles though. And then this is my stats page. So this circle here is for fiction, how many fiction and how many nonfiction I read. Remember, fantasy and sci-fi. I'm gonna do books read, page count, high score, and then how many of the DNFs that I didn't finish. How many books in a series tracker, so what's the series called, how many books are there, and how many did I read. There's quite a few series that I want to try and read. Quotes that resonate. I did this because I really like the page, and I really love the way this waterfall came out with washi tape. I'm just obsessed with it. But I wanted to do a page with quotes because I love quotes from books. Then I did bookish bingo, so a book with one word title. I printed this off of Canva. If you look up book bingo or book planner stuff, this came up, and also this one, and I just printed them from Canva. And I figured I could just color this in. I don't even know how many books are on here, but we'll see how many I can read. And then I tried to do 2024 reading goals. So BIPOC main character, which I would love to read with some Native main characters that are not depressed. They're in fantasy and sci-fi, so we'll see. I do have some Indigenous authors. And then LGBTQ main character, support my family that is part of that community. I am a supporter of my family members and want them to know, and we all need to be supported. And then fanfic, why? Because Jay is obsessed with fanfic, and I told her I would try, so she is so excited for me to read a couple of fanfics. Door stoppers, anything over 500 pages. Native authors, so any Native American authors. preferably in the fantasy and sci-fi realm. We'll see. It's gonna be a little challenging to find some authors, but it's getting easier and easier. And then disability or neurodivergent characters. I actually just recently read a book, I can't remember what it was called, but it had a person who was blind in there, and then I read another book that had a person who was deaf, and it was really, the humor in there was hilarious, and I have a lot of eye issues and have a hard time seeing sometimes, so to read books like that is really great. And then I'm gonna try and read some manga, which Jay is also excited about because she's already picking me out the books I'm gonna read. And then indie authors, because I'm an indie author, so I want to support some other indie authors. And then books in French and Ojibwe. So it's really hard to find books in my language. There are some, it's mainly elder stories. There are no fantasy, no sci-fi that are fully in our language, but maybe I might find a French one that might be interesting to try and read. And then my rating system, which I have not even completed this. I was gonna try and use the however you say that, and do the rating system that way. I haven't added that part in yet. And then 24 books in 2024. I'm going to do the covers on these pages. I have yet to print any covers out. And then books read, so the date I read them, the title, and what the rating is, so I can just look at a full list of all the books I've read. I'm being very ambitious because I gave myself 2 pages. I don't know if I'll complete that or not. And then this will be individual books, just to write what I felt about the book, any kind of scenes that really I felt strongly about, the book cover, title, genre, and then the rating of it. And I figured I could fit 3 per page. So I have it situated so that I'll have that. So that is my reading journal. And then I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit about the books that I borrowed to start my journey. Okay, so I have a few books of my own that I have not read yet. Night Study by Maria Snyder is one I plan to read. I might almost want to reread that entire series, but we'll see. So this stack is actually books I borrowed from my youngest daughter, and she really loves vampires. So I have Vampire Kisses, Black Sunshine, so that looks really interesting, Marked, and then Halo. So 2 vampires, 1 werewolf, and an angel, I believe. I don't know. She recommended these, and I'm gonna try them. She owns the whole series of this one, and this one. So once if I like the first books, I'll continue with the series. If I don't, I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna suffer through it. And then these ones are from my oldest daughter, and I thought it was really interesting because I have this Red Queen and this Red Queen. So I'm gonna read both of these books. They're not the same author. This one's by Victoria Aveyard, and this one's Christopher Pike. So we'll see how those ones are. And then Obsidian is book 1. Ox is book 2. This is a series. She has the other ones. I read these, to be honest, probably 6 to 10 years ago. So they're kind of an older book, but I'm going to try and reread them again. It's been a really long time. And then these ones right here, this is a whole trilogy. So Beastly, Cloaked, and Towering. And so she said that maybe I might like these ones, because I kind of like that fantasy romance genre. So if you guys have any recs, I looked at the library and I'm gonna be honest and say most of their fiction books were like, yeah. So I might, if you guys have some recs, maybe that would really help. We could build up our library, and I'll have some new books to borrow so I can read them. There are a couple other books I want to read that I have from some native authors, so hold on. I have the Robo Apocalypse, but it's not right here, so I can't grab that one. And then this is just actually a collection of short stories, Never Whistle at Night, so I'm kind of interested to see about this one. And then I know this is a little kid one, but I really want to read it, Healer of the Water Monster. And then this one's more of like an anime or a comic book, manga, The Night Marchers. So I kind of wanted to see, it's not necessarily a native book, it's just got a lot of folklore from the Pacific. So I'm kind of really interested in reading this one. So there are some really interesting, and there's one other native manga one called The Woman in the Woods. That one's really cool too. This one's just a collection of short stories, and it's a comic book, and I don't think it'd take me very long to read these, but they are on my list. I got this one and these other native author ones at the Native Comic-Con that was in Oklahoma City this past year that we presented at and stuff, and I had to buy these books because I just couldn't resist. But if you guys have any recs for other books to read that are in that fantasy sci-fi genre, I could look on Kindle. I'm gonna read these, put on my goggles, put on my handy dandy goggles and read. But I'm gonna be honest and say sometimes it's easier to read on the Kindle because I can make the text go really big and it doesn't strain my eyes as much. So if you guys have any recs for Kindle, that would be good too. Sometimes I buy the free Kindle books or get them, and I'm looking for some that would be worth buying. So if you guys have any recs, that would be awesome. And I'll keep you guys updated and share it when it starts filling out. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, Muffy.